Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a time capsule, a vehicle that doesn't officially exist but sparks the imagination, the 1965 Honda Accord. That's right, imagine if Honda had released its iconic Accord a full decade earlier. What would it have looked like? How would it have driven? And would it still have captured the essence of what the Accord became known for: reliability, practicality, and smooth performance? Let's find out. Starting at the front, the 1965 Accord pays homage to mid-century automotive design. The grille is wide, horizontal, and chrome-heavy, very much in line with the aesthetic cues of the era. It features dual round headlights on either side, nestled within a deeply recessed bezel that gives it a commanding but approachable presence. The Honda emblem sits modestly in the center, not flashy, but dignified. Below, the front bumper is all metal with a thick, polished surface. And yes, those hood lines, they sweep gently back, giving just a hint of forward motion even when the car is standing still. Moving to the side profile, the proportions are very balanced. Unlike the later Accords which leaned into a more compact aesthetic, this imagined 65 model stretches just a little longer, with a slight forward rake and a long hood. Chrome trim outlines the windows, and a fine pinstripe runs along the length of the car, accentuating its length. The car rides on 13-inch steel wheels, covered by small chrome hubcaps, again, very era appropriate. And you'll notice the thinner pillars and large windows. Visibility was clearly a priority. That greenhouse gives it a light, airy vibe that modern sedans could learn from. Now the rear of the 1965 Accord is where you really see the blend of Honda simplicity with 60s American inspiration. The tail lights are vertical and stacked, somewhat reminiscent of early Pontiacs or even a baby Chevy Impala. The trunk lid is wide, and the chrome bumper wraps neatly around the back. There's a very subtle lip spoiler integrated into the trunk sheet metal, not for aerodynamics, but just enough flair to give the rear end some personality. Dual exhaust tips peek subtly from underneath, but this is no muscle car, more of a smooth. Step inside, and you're greeted with a two-tone vinyl interior, finished in warm brown and ivory. The seats are generously cushioned bench-style front and back, which means you can technically seat 6, but comfort-wise, 4 is ideal. The dash is a symmetrical layout with round dials for speed, fuel, and engine temp. The steering wheel is thin, large in diameter, and finished with a metal horn ring, a beautiful touch. In the center of the dash, there's a vertically stacked AM radio, analog clock, and slider-style HVAC controls. You even get a floor-mounted shifter for the optional 4-speed manual or 2-speed automatic, depending on your. Under the hood is where things get a bit more interesting. This imagined model is powered by a 1.6-liter inline-4 engine, producing around 78 horsepower, more than enough for cruising in the mid-60s. It's carbureted, of course, and it features a very clean engine bay. Everything is simple, mechanical, and very DIY friendly. There's no power steering, no ABS, and definitely no fuel injection. But what you do get is character, and a light curb weight that makes this car feel nimble and honest on the road. Light acceleration, on the road, the 1965 Accord surprises you. It's not fast, 0 to 60 happens somewhere in the 14-second range, but it has a confidence about it. The manual gearbox has long throws but positive engagement. The clutch is light, the steering is direct if a bit heavy at low speeds, and the suspension is softly sprung, which means you float over imperfections rather than feeling every bump. It's a cruiser, not a bruiser. Perfect for a Sunday drive or a downtown run with your windows rolled down and the radio humming. As for pricing, in today's classic car market, something like this, if it had existed, would likely fetch anywhere between $18,000 and $30,000 depending on condition, originality, and nostalgia factor. But in our alternate timeline, let's say the base model sold new for around $2,200 in 1965, a fair price for a Japanese-built sedan competing against American compacts. Now, let's talk about who this car would have been perfect for. This isn't the car you'd buy if you were chasing muscle. But if you wanted a reliable, comfortable, easy to maintain car with a refined ride and a focus on economy, this would have been a dream. It would have appealed to teachers, small families, maybe even first-time car buyers who didn't want to be seen driving the same old American nameplates. Honda's hypothetical entry into the US market 10 years earlier with this Accord might have changed automotive history. So there you have it, the 1965 Honda Accord. A what-if machine that combines Honda engineering with mid-century charm. While it never really existed, imagining this car allows us to reflect on how far Honda has come, and how even the simplest designs can carry a lot of soul. If you